Hi everyone, and thank you for joining me on one of my latest mental health videos. But first of all, before I share what I'm going to share in this video, I'd like to thank Bernard Looney for giving me the inspiration this morning to make this video. I was watching Bernard this morning on LinkedIn talking about the potential that can be released if we're able to help people with their mental health, and how if they're not being consumed by that, the energy they put into that's not consuming them, how they can use that energy for better things in their life or at work or for the companies they work for, how they can become more productive. Now I'd just like to share a little bit of my mental health story with you, but particularly around the OCD that I suffered from. Now I suffered from a form of OCD called pure OCD, which meant that I would suffer recurring intrusive thoughts that greatly scared me and that I didn't want, but because of my condition I couldn't get rid of them. So I'm going to share with you just one day of what it's like to be a pure sufferer. So I suffered from a form of pure where the thoughts that went through my brain every day, my mind every day, were around bringing great harm to people, and they were violent thoughts. So for me, a typical day would be that I would leave my house to go to work, and on my way to work I might walk past someone in the street and I might get a thought of go and punch that person or go and harm that person. Now this is why a lot of people who suffer from this type of OCD don't speak about it, because they don't want to be judged, they don't want to be seen as being dangerous, and it's why for over 20 years I never ever spoke about it. But people with this form of OCD are not likely to carry out these thoughts or put actions behind it, put the actions in place with these thoughts. In fact, they're more likely to do the exact opposite. They'll do everything they can to keep away from these thoughts happening. Anything that can trigger these thoughts, they're more likely to do something to stop that trigger, because this is what I used to do. But if I was walking to my work and this would happen, when I would be at work for the rest of that day, it would be running through my mind. Is this what I want to do? Do I want to harm people? Do I want to punch people in the street? And it was absolutely exhausting and draining. And it led to me not being present at my work, my mind not being present. I might be working at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, but my mind's still back on this thing that happened at 7 o'clock in the morning when I'm walking to work. And it didn't finish when my work finished. When I went home at that night, I would be in my house and I would be saying to myself, is this really me? Is this what I want to do? Do I want to carry this out? And it was just very disturbing, very, very scareful experience. And it's part of OCD where you ruminate. You just ruminate on these thoughts all day long, all night long. Ruminations can even carry on into your sleep and wake you up in your sleep. And I did suffer from this form of OCD for over 20 years. And it was only through working with an expert in Human Behaviour and Emotional Intelligence in London, Tony Selimi, for a number of years, that I was able to free myself of these thoughts. Today, I no longer have them. I feel pretty much normal. My OCD started when I was 17. Pure OCD started when I was about 21. And today I just feel like it's never existed, it's all gone. So when Bernard spoke in his video, imagine the potential if we could take the energy that people put into the worries that go through their mind and transform it into another energy, because we can ease these worries through helping them with their mental health and use that energy for the better, for the people, for the companies they work for them to become more productive or higher performers. But Bernard says, imagine if we can do that. And I don't have to imagine that, because I know it is possible. it is actually possible to be able to do this, because as I've mentioned, everything I suffered from is now gone, being replaced with a person who's present, whose mind doesn't drift into the past as it used to for over 2 decades. And it's just amazing to be able to do that. So this is all I would like to share with you today, because it's just the fact that Bernard inspired me to make this video this morning, and I hope it's been useful. Thank you.